talking. I am talking, keeping the mic here. This should be good. This should be good right here. So I went to a movie theater tonight to see a movie with my friend, my sister, and my friend's sister. We went to see this movie called The Menu. I have no clue what it was supposed to be about, and I still don't know what it's supposed to be about because I did not see it. What happened is that I was not old enough, and my friend was also not old enough to accompany our two sisters to this rated R movie. So, what happened instead? We had to see just another movie that was happening at the same time as the one we wanted to see. So we're looking through the list, and we're like, hey, let's see Puss in Boots, The Last Wish. That seems fun. It's an animated movie. So I went in with no expectations. Not because I don't like DreamWorks movies. They're very good movies. DreamWorks has good movies. I just hadn't seen a Shrekverse movie in a while. So I didn't know what I was walking into. Little did I know that I was walking into one of the best animated movies I will have ever seen in my life. Puss in Boots, The Last Wish. Puss in Boots, The Last Wish is a movie that it will surprise you, it will dazzle you, it will make you laugh, it will make you cry. It had so much more than I was expecting. I was expecting nothing. So, not high expectations, so the bar was very low, but still, they went way above the bar with this one. I'm gonna preface right now, if you have not seen the movie, go watch that. I'm probably not gonna spoil anything, but just stop watching this video. What are you doing? Stop watching my horrible video on this stupid channel. Go watch the movie. Go watch it right now. If you've never seen any of the Shrek movies, or Puss in Boots, the first one, Puss in Boots is a cat that has a sword and boots. Why am I trying to introduce you to Puss in Boots? If you don't know what Puss in Boots is, you didn't click on this video, so just leave. I'm gonna go ahead and cover the animation first, because that's what like everyone's talking about right now. The animation was amazing. DreamWorks has really outdone themselves with this and has definitely shown that they've improved since the days of the first Shrek movie. The first Shrek movie was still great. It was still the animation for its time was pretty good. The story was amazing. There was a lot of laughs. But since that movie, they have gone beyond what I thought DreamWorks would have done. To be honest, I thought DreamWorks would be gone by now. So it's awesome that they're creating stuff like this movie. It's got this fun type of animation that you might be familiar with if you watched Into the Spider-Verse. It's called motion scrubbing, and basically it's that kind of animation where everything seems a little choppy, and it seems more like a comic book because it's a little everything's moving like this, but it's not bad animation, it's intentionally done like that. Puss in Boots does this kind of animation, but not throughout the entire movie, which is really cool because you get the action sequences in which the motion scrubbing is happening to allow for more enthralling action. And then there's times when it doesn't do it, and it allows for the emotional moments of the movie to really have the smoothness of a lot of animation that is done these days, and it's amazing. I loved it so much. I went into this movie with no expectations. And I had so much fun watching it. There was not a single second wasted in this movie. Every single second of this movie does such a great job of reconstructing the legend of Puss in Boots. And that's what I want to get into, because it's a huge theme in the movie. Puss in Boots trying to live up to the legend or get back to being the legend that he was. What they do in this movie is they really show the emotion and the stress and the anxiety that Puss goes through. Because, spoiler alert, the whole conflict of this movie is driven by the fact that Puss is now on his ninth life. And he doesn't know what to do. He starts freaking out. He's never had to face the fear of death before because he's had 9 lives, always at least 1 life in front of him. And now he has to wrestle with the idea that he's scared of death, which is an okay thing. What this movie does really well is it doesn't end the movie with Puss all of a sudden not being afraid of death anymore. It's more like he embraces death. And now I want to talk about death, because this is such an immersive character, such a fun and terrifying and just whenever Death, the character, is on screen, he takes over the screen. Even if he is on screen with a bunch of other characters, which doesn't happen often, and they did this for a reason, because whenever he's on the screen, he is the movie. I wouldn't call him the main antagonist of the movie. I would call him like the keeper of the driving plot, because he is the reason that Puss all of a sudden wants to go after the wishing star. He's the reason that Puss gets Kitty Softpaws and Perrito caught up in all of this mess. It's the reason for everything happening. And then at the end, when he faces Puss, he looks at Puss and he sees that it's not the same arrogant, legendary hero that he's been kind of hating this entire time. It's a different cat. It's a different Puss, and he's learned that all of a sudden he doesn't have to be alone. And that's also a huge thing that Kitty Softpaws wrestles with. It's a huge thing that Perrito wrestles with but isn't really aware of, because the character chooses not to, because he's such a fun, lovable, amazing bringer of joy to the movie. It's a great balance, because what you need to understand about this movie is it's not just some fun kids movie that's always happy and joyful, and the dark moments are more like adventurous moments. They're not exactly real. This movie is real. It's very, like, it tugs at your heart whenever there's something going on that's like conflicting with Puss or conflicting with Kitty Softpaws or even the other characters. This is where I do want to talk about the other characters. I won't say much because I could talk about this movie for hours, and I don't want this to be a super long video because I have other stuff to do. Goldilocks and the Three Bears, the relationship is amazing. You immediately feel it once they're on screen that they're a real family, but you also feel the struggle of Goldilocks, who's an outcast of this family and really wants to find her own family of her own, like human race. Like she's not a bear. She feels like she doesn't belong, but by the end of the movie, she understands that she's had a family with her the whole time. It's not exactly a hard thing to narrate throughout the story, but they do it really well. It's not a very complex story, and not as much as maybe Puss or Kitty Softpaws has to deal with, but they do it really well. John Mulaney is in this movie. Yeah, if you've kept watching, even though I told you not to, and go watch the movie, and you still haven't been convinced of why you need to go see this movie, John Mulaney plays the villain of this movie. John Mulaney plays Jack. Don't remember his last name. It's the kid from like the Thumb and the Pie nursery rhyme, if you don't know. This character is just so horrifying when on screen, because he's so big and he's got this I don't know what it is. He's just got this presence about him whenever he's on screen, and it's so fun because it's John Mulaney, and he doesn't do this thing like he did in Into the Spider-Verse. I loved him in Into the Spider-Verse, but Into the Spider-Verse he was still this like comic relief, still had really emotional moments, but he was Spider-Man, he was the hero. It wasn't as difficult. John Mulaney, a comedian, plays the villain here, and it does so well. It does so well. I'm genuinely in love with this movie. I just saw it. I'm probably gonna see it another time. So yeah, there's probably a lot more that I need to talk about with this movie, but I have stuff to get to, and I just need to tell people on the internet who happen to come across this video how much I love this movie, and how much you need to go see this movie, and how much everyone needs to go see this movie. So yeah, that was my review of Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. I'm not sure what the menu's like. I'm not sure if that's a good movie. I'm sure it did okay. It's got Voldemort. So yeah, I'm gonna go watch that movie like 3 more times. I'll see you later. Also, forgot to mention, I'm working on a very big project. It's not a very long project, but it's a very time-consuming and very cool project that I am going to be very proud of when it comes out, so keep an eye out for that. Okay, I'm gonna go watch the movie now.